Every year, up to 4 million people are drawn to the magnetic majesty of Sedona, Arizona, where vivid red rock formations rise from lush forests, an oasis of the Southwest for both body and soul. Because most visitors, whether they intend to or not, leave Sedona believing there's something else there, a mysterious energy that has pulsated through skeptics and believers alike. Its power has been compared to Machu Picchu and the Egyptian pyramids, which is why Sedona has been dubbed the New Age Mecca of America, if not the world.
It's an amazing area. The hiking is incredible.
It's just really magical and breathtaking. I just felt this wonderful surge of energy.
It has always been regarded as a sacred place for the Native people. And so today people are awakening to this.
Sedona emits an energy many have experienced and attempt to explain, including MIT graduate and author Pete Sanders, who specializes in biomedical chemistry and brain science.
Some of the main things that make Sedona special are the colors. We know from brain science that the red-orange color of the rocks, is very neurostimulating, almost like caffeine for the higher mind. It just seems to light up the brain. That's why stoplights and stop signs are red. Also, the greens. We're now 3 months without rain and it's still green. One, because it's a different type of vegetation, but it's also fed from underground seeps. So we're green year-round, and the human consciousness associates green with renewal, with re-inspiration.
Green, a color that tames the limbic system of the human brain. That's the part designed for generating worries, fears, and 90% of our negative emotions. So is that all Sedona is? Just a big, pretty, colorful distraction from our negative thoughts? Could be, but there's more than meets the eye.
We're still at the verge of discovering many factors.
I would say it's a 50-50 combo between just the amazing beauty of the area and then this idea of the spirituality of the area.
Chad Graf, a professional tour guide in Sedona, leads visitors through the rugged backcountry every day, and by popular demand, to Sedona's famous vortexes. 4 key points of spiraling spiritual energy, theorized to be marked by twisted juniper trees, naturally contorted by this mysterious power.
Vortex, by definition, is a spiraling substance. You ever see water spiral as it goes down a drain? You've seen one. But out here it's referring to a spiraling form of energy that exists at various spots. And there's different feelings you can get from these different spiraling energies. I've been to all the sites, and at a few of them it seems that I do feel something very noticeable. I've never felt anything like it.
Native cultures discovered the sacred vortex area as early as 1450 AD and documented it. Petroglyphs from the Sinagua, Yapapa, and Pueblo people dot the cliffs and countryside of Sedona, still visible today, symbols of what they saw and felt, and what thousands still feel. Rahelio, an American-born Toltec, has come to be Sedona's resident shaman, helping soul searchers connect with this energy.
For Native people, the Mother Earth is energy. It's all energy, especially through the mountains, which are like pyramids. A pyramid will draw earth energy and spin it up to the top. That is the vortex. So the spiral is speaking of this phenomenon of vortex. Some places have more energy. Like the dream catcher, the spider web is actually covering the earth itself. And the points on the spider web grid have more energy.
Nirup Barnum, psychic and spiritual counselor, is more than familiar with this energy. She uses it in her healing practices and readings and has helped thousands of clients interpret their encounters with Sedona's power.
There's a lot of people that are coming to Sedona just for the relaxation, and they're not really prepared for what they might experience when they're here. They say as soon as they drive into town, they start feeling a great emotion, and some of it is joy, some of it is sadness. They don't know what's happening. So they are very much surprised because they haven't really been looking for that experience, but yet they can feel it. This energy affects them, the frequency. We all have energy, but you can even rub your palms together and feel this energy. When we're in an environment collectively, we're all being connected by the energies here, like a church. When people go every Sunday to a church and they're there and they're in a state of prayer and meditation, that energy gets amplified.
Several religions have settled in Sedona, adorning the Red Rocks with their individual tributes, harmoniously recognizing the sacredness those ancient cultures began worshiping all those years ago.
The Pueblo people who came into this area around 600 AD used to talk about this place as being very special. Sedona was called at one time the place of the gods by these people, and they would come here to do ceremony. You've got people coming here and doing these ceremonies for a couple thousand years. If I walk into an old church in Europe that's a few thousand years old, versus I walk into a church here in the United States that's been built yesterday, I get a different feeling, because people have been putting their concentrated energies in that one spot for 2,000 years. And I personally think that affects it. Affects the energy of the spot on a quantum level. And I think that that could be a possibility of what's happened out here too.
In fact, it's hard to find a local who isn't spiritual. Pete has authored 3 books bridging the gap between science and spirituality.
This is the most exciting human pioneering time since Columbus. Columbus just went over the horizon. Science is saying you exist in these dimensions beyond that you could be tapping if you knew how.
He associates this energy with the superstring theory of physics and believes that Sedona introduces visitors to the ability to tap into other dimensions beyond the standard 3-dimensional physical world. That the area's amplified energy waves make it easier for people to tune in and connect with these higher dimensions.
If you didn't know about radio waves and you didn't know how to operate the radio in your car, you could drive around here all day and somebody would say, you know, there's all this great music. You can get jazz, you can get oldies, you can get classical. And you'd say, nah, they're a bunch of crazies. I don't hear any music. Because until you know how to tune the equipment, it's like driving around with the radio shut off, and of course they experience nothing. Doesn't mean the music isn't there.
You have plenty of people here that are not into the New Age at all. Tough cowboys, like, vortex, you know, and stuff like this. And they say, but there's something special about this place. I keep coming back.
There is something special about Sedona, a beautiful landscape, a sacred ancient land, a mysterious vortex of energy on the cusp of scientific explanation. Can something so special truly be defined?
There's something special here to me. First of all, the beauty.
It's very important to come to places that are sacred, like Sedona, that has such magic. The wind, the water, the mountain, the tree, the sun, the sky.
Bring with that the amazing group of people that come here that are drawn to this type of energy and mythology.
We can believe something or not, but when we come here and we have an experience, it becomes a knowing, and that's the difference. When it becomes a knowing, it's just part of who you are.
Coupled with the possibility of a special energy of the vortex being here.
This is one of the great frontiers. We don't know everything yet, but until you explore outside the box, you don't find.
You put all those together, and you got yourself a spiritual Disneyland, perhaps.
Sedona, a land of beauty, a gathering of believers. They believe in science, nature, energy, and spirit. They believe that something is there. You'll just have to visit, experience, and determine which special something speaks to you.